today's webinar, so I think we'll get started. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Sarah Miller, the Vice President of Marketing and Strategic Communications at the Small Business Association of Michigan. We are really excited to be offering a new member benefit, the Women Business Enterprise Certification, through our partnership with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council. So today's webinar will provide you with details on the WBE certification, practical applications for use in your business. And before we introduce our special guest, I do want to turn it over to my colleague, SBAM's Chief Revenue Officer, Michelle Beebe. She's going to share a little bit about the why as to why we are offering the certification, and then other types of certifications you might expect to see from SBAM in the future. And just one or two quick housekeeping notes. First of all, this webinar is being recorded. And second of all, we will have time for questions at the end of today's presentation. So you can hold your questions till the end, or if you want to populate them in the Q&A, that would be great too. Just know that we're going to wait to take questions until the end. So with that, Michelle, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, good afternoon, lovely ladies, because I'm pretty sure if you're a gent, you're in the wrong space. So I'm assuming we have all ladies here. And one of the responsibilities that I have as Chief Revenue Officer, it's a pleasure to actually look and proactively find partners and solutions for our business owners to help improve their bottom line. And so one of these spaces, we were continuously being asked from some larger partners that receive bids and RFPs, procurement opportunities from small business owners, to want to partner with us in this way, in a more meaningful way. So we currently have, if you're not already, a small business certification program, and Sherry Bryan's on here. So if you ever have any questions about that and the benefits of our small business certification, please connect with Sherry, because as a small business owner, it also brings a ton of value in connecting points and gives you a step up when connecting on bids and for growing your business. But particularly, we're very excited about this opportunity with Veronica and Great Lakes Women's Business Council. They're the experts in the Midwest in this space. They're one of the few WBE truly certified organizations. And our desire today is to really introduce you to this new product, how it benefits you, what you need to do to get signed up so you get the benefits of it. You do get some benefits as an SBAM member for some discounted pricing through the program. And our goal here is when you have gone through the certification, is on the back end to connect you and show you how you can leverage the certification through procurement, connecting you with partners to increase your bottom line. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about, is helping you thrive. So with that, I'm going to kick this off with to Veronica. She's the expert, and truly her name is the Director of Certification in her title, and is the expert in this space, and kind of talk to you about what this means, the value of it, and how to get started. So thanks, Veronica.
Thanks, Michelle and the SBAM team for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and we'll go ahead and kick it off. So again, thanks for coming this morning. I am going to do a presentation on the WBE certification, the benefits, the process, just all around the reasons why you want to obtain this certification. And then we also have a certified WBE that will come on after my presentation, just to give her view of the certifying body, WBENC, and the process and things like that. So I think it's very important to not only see it from my aspect, but to also see it from one of your peers as being a certified WBE. You can go to the next slide. So I always like to start our presentations by just talking a little bit about Great Lakes Women's Business Council, who we are. We are a nonprofit organization housed out of Livonia, Michigan. So those that may be familiar with the area of 96 in Farmington and Livonia, we're right there off the service drive. We've been around for 40 years. Our current executive director, Michelle Richards, was who helped found and start this organization, and we're still here kicking. We're celebrating 40 years again this year. So that's an exciting establishment. It's an exciting, I can't think of what I was about to say now. We're just excited to be 40 years in the game, right? It's not many organizations around that do what we do that have 40 years under their belt. So I'm always proud and thrilled to be a part of the organization. And we are excited to help you to become a part of the organization as well. Next slide, please. So we have 4 major components that make us whole. We started off as a lending program. So some of you may know Seed Lending, which stood for the Center for Empowerment Economic Development. That's where we started. That was our name for many, many, many years. And then we switched it over to Great Lakes Women's Business Council, just because we wanted to make it all kind of flow together. But we are a lending program offering small business loans to existing and startup companies. You do not have to be woman-owned to be a part of the lending program. So if you do know anyone that's interested in access to capital, please reach out. We do specialize in providing loans with people or companies who can't necessarily go and obtain their traditional funding source. So, you know, some people aren't able to get lending from a traditional bank or credit union or other financial institutions. That's where we specialize in. That's our niche. So please reach out if you want more information about that. We have our corporate membership. So here within our council, we have members on corporate levels, Fortune 500s, that will pay us a membership fee to have access to our certified WBEs. We have our amazing Women's Business Center. We are a women's business program through the SBA. And so we have a phenomenal miwomen.com. That's going to be, it's free for you to join that. I suggest every woman on business on this call sign up for miwomen.com. It's like a free online directory. We call it like the Facebook for businesses. There's tons and tons of women-owned businesses that is a part of that program. But also within that Women's Business Center, there's phenomenal opportunities for educational pieces, webinars, seminars. We have a mentorship program, all kinds of things happening out of that department. And then you have the WBE certification arm, where we are certifying women-owned businesses for WeBank in the states of Michigan and Indiana. That's our territory. And I'll go more in depth about that later in the presentation. Next slide, please. So again, just a couple programs that we do offer. Up under that Women's Business Center, we have our Mentor We, Exec We Lead, We Match, We Succeed, We Update. So we're We Everything. So we definitely want to support and provide services to our certified women business owners. And we do that by offering so many different services that you're able to obtain and tap into through the Women's Business Center. We currently have about 90 corporate members within our territory. We're actually close to the 1,500 certified WBEs. Our lending program has done over 8 million in revenue to date. So we are doing amazing things through the council. So we're just excited. Next slide, please. Now here's a video, hopefully it plays, just from someone else's perspective about the council and the things we do.
Here in Michigan, boosting women in business and shattering glass ceilings. We are talking about the work of the Great Lakes Women's Business Council, which has been meeting for 2 days in Novi. Paula Tutman was in the middle of it all with a story on the groundbreaking, game-changing organization.
I think what's so incredible is there was a time not so very long ago, just the idea of being a woman-owned business owner or your own boss was considered foreign, so foreign that some people even laughed at that idea.
It's beyond my expectations. It's beyond my dreams, frankly.
Michelle Richards, the founder and CEO of the Great Lakes Women's Business Council, remembers those early days well.
In 1984, no one believed in the idea of women starting businesses. The concept seemed like, oh, you're talking about women doing catering or babysitting. And I said, no.
But that was then, and this is now. Through Great Lakes Women's Business Council, we've met glass blowers, construction workers, candy makers, concerned about the level of women living in poverty and the barriers to even think about being a boss instead of a worker. Michelle Richards had an idea: start an organization that promotes and trains women to be business owners. 35 years later, this is what her vision looks like.
Central View Technologies delivers this and so much more.
At the two-day conference, women pitched their companies,
where we provide pre-charged cell phone chargers that are stored in vending machines in public places.
We've grown from being a small loan program and business training program to being an organization with very sophisticated programs on how to leverage opportunities and accelerate business growth.
The newest initiative, B2We, provides procurement opportunities for women to do business with other women-owned companies. During We Match sessions, small women-owned companies can actually talk face-to-face to 60 big corporations, the business titans looking to do business with women business owners, because being a certified women business enterprise is a game changer.
The federal government is the major customer for almost all major companies. Their requirement is to set up programs to do business with women and minorities, and to do 5% spend with women and 5% spend with minorities. And so women's business certification is a way to do that.
Ann Teschendorf of Covalent Resource Group has only been in business for 18 months.
We're loving it. Like, just being embraced in a community is really cool.
I'm proud to MC this luncheon for the conference every year. 1,200 certified women business enterprises generating $11.6 billion into the U.S. economy with 41.5 thousand workers. And that is not bad for a 35-year-old with a staff of only 17. In the room, more than 800 ladies who are lunching from across Michigan and as far away as California and Texas. And they are not talking laundry detergent, but line items. All of this from a gender that just 35 years ago didn't have a clear agenda. My, how times have changed. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Oh, they sure have. Thank you, Paula.
So that was from our conference in 2019. Of course, that was the last conference that we had in person because COVID came and wiped us all out. But we were actually in attendance. We had about 1,100 people total, so about 800 of our WBEs and about 250 plus of our corporate members that were actually there with buyers and things like that. So we had about close to 1,100, if not over, in attendance. So last year was our first year back in person with our conference. We were about 600. This year we're anticipating about 900. Our conference will be in September, and I'll speak more to that. But that's just phenomenal opportunities. Again, we really strive on the B2B and the B2C. So that's just things that we're doing here at the council. Now I'll go a little bit about the diverse supplier. So you can be women-owned, disabled-owned, fit within the LGBTQ community, minority-owned, or veteran-owned. There's a certifying body that will certify you for each of these different pods. And then there's different levels of these certifications. So you can click, it should pop up some. Yeah, click it again and again. I don't know why. Sharice, who made this presentation, she loves things to be animated and popped up. So, so you can get your city level certification. So your small business enterprise, your minority, your woman owned, your veteran owned. If you're looking to do work in the particular city, Detroit definitely has that. If you're looking to do work within the state, you can also get your SBE, your small business, your minority, your women, your disadvantaged. You obtain those certifications through MDOT. On the federal government side, if you want to do any business with any federal government, municipalities, schools, universities, healthcare, utilities, things like that, they have that WOSB certification. And then on the corporation side, which would make it a national certification, you have the WBANC and then the MMSDC. So we provide the WBANC, which is the women's certification. So that's for corporation procurement side of things. We do also offer that WOSB certification through our council. So you are ultimately getting 2 certifications for the price of 1. You do have to apply for WBE certification. So we will not certify you as a WOSB unless you meet the requirements for WBE certification. Next slide. You can hit it again. And one more time. And I know Michelle had mentioned, what was that? I'm sorry.
This is our Veronica.
Yes.
This is Michelle. I wondered if you whipped off those acronyms. Could you share with them what those mean in that previous slide? So if people aren't familiar with these certifications, what those acronyms mean and
Oh, yes.
what, yeah. Okay.
Yep. So SBE would be your small business enterprises. I know SBAM handles that certification. Your WBE would be your woman business enterprise. That's WeBank, but you can also get that certification through the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. But that's particularly for the usage in that particular city and state. So that's not national. The MBE would be your minority business enterprise. You have your VOBE, which is your veteran-owned business enterprise. So if you're a veteran and you own a business, there's a certification for that. And then there is I think that's it, the WOSB, which is the woman-owned small business. So that's federally mandated. And that will go by your NAICS code as well. So depending on your NAICS code, that's what that certification would base off of. That's the acronym. That's women-owned small business. I think that's all of them. There's a lot, but I think that's all of them.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So here we speak about the private and the public. So Michelle mentioned that the ones that are mandated by the government, they have that 5% spend. Those are going to be like your utilities, your healthcare, your insurances, your universities, things like that. So they have to do a certain amount with diverse suppliers. So, that's each diverse supplier pocket. So there's 5% with minority, 5% with women, 5% with the LGBTQ, 5% with the veteran. So they definitely go above and beyond to make sure that they're hitting their quota. On the public side of things, you have your like Rocket Mortgage, your Dow, your GM, Stellantis, Ford, Meyer, Kroger, Walmart, some of your big Fortune 500s. Those are public sector. So they get to determine how much spend they want to do. And I've been here a long time, and I've seen them, majority of them are doing well over 5% spend with women and minorities. So I can say Walmart is a huge supporter of our women-owned businesses. They even created our women-owned logo and things like that. So they are definitely in the now, they're definitely in the avenue of doing work with women-owned businesses. Next slide. Now we just kind of talk a little bit about how WeBank and Great Lakes are connected. So WeBank is the national council. It stands for Women's Business Enterprise National Council. So it's a national council. Your certification actually comes from WeBank. It will have our logo along with all of the other RPO's logos on there, but it is and can be used nationally. So you can click the next slide for me. You can so if you are headquartered in the states of Michigan and Indiana, where they're in that royal blue there, we cover, again, Michigan and Indiana. So although you may obtain your certification out of our territory because that's where you're headquartered, you can go down to Florida and use the certification down there. All you would need to do is to contact the WeBank Florida to say, hey, I'm a certified WBE out of the Great Lakes region. I am interested, however, I have an office in Florida, I don't know, Tallahassee or Miami. Let's say I have an office in Miami and I'm looking to be invited to your guys' opportunities, your events and your procurement opportunities. They will then put you on a mailing list. Some of us have like a $50 membership fee for you to join our particular council. But that would then just kind of broaden your opportunities of who you can work with because your certification is national. So you don't have to just stick within the state of Michigan or Indiana. You can go wherever you have office space or wherever you see opportunity for your business to grow within that territory. you just reach out to that RPO that provides service for WeBank in that particular territory, and they will be able to help you and assist you with anything you need. Next slide. So why get certified? Definitely business growth. Business growth and education and training come one in one. I haven't seen a WBE that has gotten certified, came to our events, took the business and training opportunities that the council provides. We have mentorship programs. We have all different types of trainings and educational arm pieces that come out of that Women's Business Center. I haven't seen someone go through all of that and not be successful. And I know Michelle mentioned, not only do we promote the B2C, we definitely promote the B2B. And this is where I see the most connections and the most activities happen is the B2B. The WBEs love supporting each other. So I've watched women come into that mentorship program. By the end, not only if their mentor may be Stellantis, but they're put in a cohort with other women that may be in the same industry, or there's some type of connection to why they're all in that same cohort with Stellantis. And I've watched them not only obtain contracting opportunities with Stellantis, but there's contracting opportunities within each other that has helped their businesses become successful. So business growth, education and training, connections, contracts, the WB opportunities, there's all that kind of flows together. So there's not one over the other one. It all kind of just flows together. Next slide. This is another brief video just about WeBank in general.
WeBank has a great value product. They deliver great programs, they have a great service model, and they just truly understand and want to get to know us better as a corporate member.
I would highly recommend that any woman-owned business strongly consider becoming certified at WeBank.
Attend meetings, listen to webinars, even scroll through the website. There are so many, wonderful opportunities and resources that WeBank has.
Diversity professionals who work for some of the major corporations, agencies, as well as nonprofits truly have been advocates. And I would always tell this to women-owned businesses. This is the best era to do business.
It's just a wonderful community of people all wanting the same thing, which is advancing women-owned businesses.
So that right there again says it all. WeBank, with you being certified nationally, you will be invited to just not regional events, but WeBank itself has events that you are invited to. So we have things, that's going on in the Michigan and Indiana territory. WeBank also has conferences, meetings, webinars, seminars, and things like that. We just attended their conference last month, actually, the last week of March. It was in Denver. There was over 4,000 people there. They had it in Detroit in 2018. We had the biggest amount of attendees. So we were way over 5,000. We were tapping on 6,000's door. Again, this is all pre-COVID. So they're kind of anticipating next year's conference, which will be in New Orleans, should probably have a little over 5,000. So everyone's just kind of catching the momentum, getting it back up. It should click. There we go. Here's a listing of our corporate members that are members of the council regionally here in Michigan. So these members are corporations that have paid us a membership fee to have access to our certified WBEs. And you also will see some of our corporate members are WBEs. So Aristio, which is a construction company owned by two sisters. They're actually located right around the corner in Livonia from the office. They are rather large. They're a rather large WBE that has put in and implemented a supplier diversity program within them. So Strategic Staffing Solutions is the same. So we have WBEs that grow. DFM is another one that grows so large that they want to give back to other certified WBEs. So they implement supplier diversity programs within their companies. And so they in turn have a spend quota. They use our database to obtain WBEs. They come to our events. And it's so weird to see them because they're on like the corporation side and they're on the B2B side. So, but there are amazing opportunities for you once you obtain the certification. Next slide. Here's just a quick pie chart of who we certify. Again, I've been here quite some time. So I remember it used to be a time where manufacturing was at like 40%, right? A lot of our WBEs were in that manufacturing realm because of course we're automotive driven here in Detroit, but it's since then turned. So we have 27% of our WBEs are certified. They're in our professional industries, meaning they're like the consultants or the staffing agencies, things like that. And then we have 20% of our WBEs are certified in the manufacturing. I can say the retail, wholesale trade, and construction industries, I am starting to see creep up slowly but surely, which is a good thing. That means just more women are getting into those industries, taking over, and getting certified. Next slide. So what's the criteria for certification? So the business must be 51% or more owned by a woman or women. So it doesn't necessarily need to be one woman that holds all of the 51%. It can be a multitude of women that make up the 51%, but it has to be 51% or more. We do not round up. So it can't be 50.992. It has to be 51% or more in order to qualify for the certification. The woman must manage and control the business. They must contribute to the capital or expertise, meaning, let's say you own a landscaping business. We're not expecting the female owner to be out there doing pulling up the dirt and driving the tractor and things like that. However, she must have the expertise to be able to know what her company is doing. And if someone was to leave or retire out, she has the expertise and the knowledge to be able to go and hire someone to take that spot back on. And she must hold the highest defined title. So if the highest defined title of your company is president, then that female would need to hold that highest title. And then she must be a US citizen, hold a green card or a permanent resident card. Next slide. We certify all structured entities except for a nonprofit, because we are a nonprofit, so it'll be a conflict of interest, but you can be a sole P, a partnership, a corporation, and an LLC, whether it's single member or multi-member, you would qualify for the certification. Next slide. And here's just a quick view at the system. Everything's done online, so you would go to webanklink.org. You would click on this apply and renew for certification. It will then start to ask you some questions. You're going to answer those, and then it will put you into the application process to begin the process for certifying. Next slide. And then here's another just screenshot of what you'll see once you actually get into the system. Now this screenshot is actually when you're certified. So it will look different for you when you initially go in. Once you get certified, it's going to look exactly like this. So you'll have access to all of our branding materials. So all of our logos, all of our, you can do a press release through the system to let people know you're certified. You have access to marketing materials, things like that. Your certificate will be available for you to view. All of those things. And then on the left, you'll see the search option. That's where you can search as a WBE. You have access to search other WBEs as well as corporate members. So there's no more kind of waiting around to say, okay, well, I'm kind of wanting to get into Ford, but I don't know where to start. You have access to go and to the system, pull the contact person for Ford Motor Company, the main buyer over supplier diversity, and reach out to them personally or put them on a mailing list so that they can get your news release to let them know that you are now certified. These are the things that you have to offer. So there's so much that you can do with the system once you get certified. We do offer one-on-one trainings. You would just send me an email, let me know that you are interested in getting trained on how to use the database, and I will set up a meeting with you to be able to do that. Next slide. This you can go past that. I already spoke to that. So the process is you fill out an application online. It is submitted to my team. We will do an overall review of the file to make sure that all the documents are there. it then gets sent over to another teammate who would do a more detailed review of your file. We then take it to a committee. The committee is made up of WBEs and peers. So your peers, WBEs, and corporate members. If there's anyone in the room that has a conflict or in the same industry as you, they are removed from the meeting for that particular file that we are presenting to the committee. So there's always the confidentiality and privacy of your particular file. We then will send your file over to our site visitor. She would then conduct a site visit with you virtually through Zoom. Unless you're in this particular industry, then we would come out in person. But 98% of our site visits right now are conducted through Zoom. And then we would bring it back to a final committee, and they would recommend whether we certify or deny. If you are certified, you'll receive a letter and the access to your certificate. The system is going to let you know it's going to take 90 days from the day that we deem your file complete. So we don't deem it complete until all of your documentation is submitted in the system. We do have an average of about 45 days here at the council, but we just let people know it could take up to 90 days. If things, depends on how many files we have coming in. We have about, on average, 100 to 160 files come in a month. So we are constantly working. We review the files pretty much on a as they are received basis. So depends on how many files we have coming in. You may see closer to like a 55-day, but most of our files are getting turned around from the day that the application is submitted to the day that we get you your certificate in 45 days. Next slide, please. Documentation required. We are going to require some documentation. For general business information, we're going to require a history of the business. We want to know who, what, when, why, where, how many generations is the business, when did it start, that type of thing. Your owner's eligibility, we're going to ask for license, birth certificate, or passport. Financial structure, we ask for taxes for the last 3 years. We ask for W-2s, profit and loss balance sheets. This is the typical stuff that you would submit if you're looking to obtain a loan or anything like that. Your personnel, we want to know, who works for the company, a list of employees, how long have they been there. Management and governance information, we're going to ask for like your operating agreement, or your bylaws, your stock certificates, your meeting minutes. Those are all things that we're going to ask for. Again, me just kind of spilling them all out may sound overbearing, but you can definitely reach out to me. We can get on a Zoom. I can really break down your company and what's required for your particular company, your makeup, and we can go from there. But it's not as bad as it seems. I know when I'm just naming out a lot of the documents, people are like, "Oh, check, I'm done. I don't want no parts of it." But it's a really, I don't want to say it's simple, but if you do the work, it's guaranteed to be beneficial for you. Next slide. I always just want to put in the plug that your security, your privacy is our #1 priority. The system is very encrypted. And as long as if you go in the system right now and you start an application and you were to call me and say, "Hey, Veronica, I'm stuck on this question," or "I'm stuck on this document," you would have to actually grant me access to the application to be able to view it. So only the person who you've granted access to the application will have authority to view it. And then once the application is submitted, the only people that have access to it would be me and my certification team. Nobody else, even our committee, we conduct the committee, we share our screens. There's no room or space for anybody else to even have access to your application. And am I chopping up? Okay. My
Your
screen
audio is
keeps
coming through
freezing.
clear.
Okay. This is like, because sometimes, yeah, my screen is freezing, but I just want to make sure you guys can still hear me. So fee structure, we do have a fee structure. This is our fee structure. It ranges from $350 to $1,250, depending on your revenue range. I can say that we are offering $100 off to any new WBE coming through SBAM. So when you ladies are ready to submit an application, you will simply just reach out to us and we'll let you know how to apply that discount. But again, you ladies will get $100 off for being an SBAM member. And that's for any new certifying WBE coming through the SBAM organization. Next slide. This is, you can click the button again. This is just, again, we want you just to keep in mind, you don't necessarily always have to go for the prime supplier. Yes, it is great for you to want to go after Ford and Stellantis, but keep in mind that there are tier 1s, tier 2, tier 3 companies that make up those prime suppliers. So there's opportunities for contracting there as well. So we want to make sure that you keep an open mind and going for those opportunities as well. And click it again. We do offer free webinars of how to leverage your certification once you get certified. So you'll have access to that immediately, which is going to help you, again, to learn how to navigate the system, let you know the things we have to offer, just a lot more detail in the things that we're talking about today. Next slide. Oh, one more time. Here we go. This is the team of Great Lakes with just a little quote that we all use. So next slide. Here's your certification team. We have myself, which is the Director of Certification, Katrina Johnson, Indiana Program Manager, Sharice Gary, Senior Certification Specialist, Danielle Lawhorn, Certification Coordinator, Rachel Floyd, Certification Administrative Clerk. We all can work on anyone's files. Me and Sharice are housed here in Michigan. Katrina, Danielle, and Rachel are in Indiana, but we all can work on any file from whichever state. So at any given time, you may be in contact with me. You may be talking to Sharice. You may be talking to Rachel. Rachel's the frontline person. She's going to be that person that's going to review to make sure all your documents are there. And then she passes it on to one of us four. Next slide. Again, this is letting you guys know that the miwomen.com website is free to join. So we ask that you take the time to sign up for that free opportunity. Next slide. We have all the social media outlets. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So this is just showing that. And then here's just the QR codes to the certification team. We have our own separate TikTok and our own separate Instagram. So if you have any type of product or service or something, you want us to come and do a tour of your facility, or you want us to, you are already in a store and we will go to the store. We do reviews. We do all kind of fun stuff on our social media platforms. So check us out. And then at this point, we won't do questions. We're going to hold the questions till the absolute end, but I would like to turn it over to Rachel Ish from LKF Marketing, who has been certified, I believe, since about 2016. I think we got her certified, 2016, 2017. It's been several years. So I'll turn it over to you, Rachel. I mean, I'm at work. I just got off the webinar with Rachel. I do apologize. Turn it over to you, Heather.
No problem. Thanks, Veronica. Yeah, we have been certified for quite a while. And prior, the previous owner, Carol Fricky, she was also certified. So I think LKF has been in business. We're celebrating our 35th year. I think we've been certified about 15 of those 35 years, something like that, maybe a little longer. Our firm is located in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We are primarily serve B2B clients. And the reason that we got certified in the first place was, well, as you know, you pointed out earlier, one of the presentations, early in the 1980s and 90s, you weren't finding a lot of female-owned companies, and we were just proud of it. That's what really caused us to certify. We also have a lot of clients in the manufacturing and technical spaces. So it helped our clients with their diversity credits because they were working with a female-owned team. We also, over the years, have we've been an approved vendor with the state of Michigan. So having our WBE is actually helpful when we're going through the RFP process. I think early on, we probably participated a little bit more in a lot of the events. For us personally, some of what we would have called the speed dating, where you were able to reach out to larger organizations and meet some of those contacts, it was wonderful, and I encourage people to do it. The kind of business that works best for us, that wasn't like the best connection. But our experience having our WBE has been really helpful. And I think that it definitely helps from a recruitment standpoint. A lot of times we have younger professionals that are just kind of excited to see a bunch of ladies leading the team. We do have lots of gentlemen on our team now too, but so in a nutshell, that's that.
And I wanted just to chime in and let you know, like, yes, you have gentlemen on your team, and they're more than welcome to attend 90% of what we have to offer, right? So all of our webinars, seminars, trainings, conferences, smaller networking events, bring them in. We're not anti-men. So definitely you can bring them in. There are, I think maybe 2 trainings that we do offer that we suggest that the female owner, because they're high level in trainings, we do request that the female owner is the only one present for those. But anything else, if you have a team full of men on your sales team, they're more than welcome to come and be a part of the council.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Veronica, and thank you, Heather. Heather does serve on SBAM's board of directors, so we're super thrilled that she was able to join us today. We did have one question pop in, and I think this may have been answered during your presentation, Veronica, but this woman asks if there's any benefit to a nonprofit being certified. They are a women's center and will always be women-led.
Yes, unfortunately, nonprofits don't qualify for the certification. So there wouldn't be any benefit to it because we wouldn't be able to offer it.
All right. Well, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we had some clarity there. Are there any other questions from those of us who are from those of you who joined us today? If so, you can still drop them in the Q&A, or I did share the website, the webpage on SBAM's website that provides a little bit more information about the presentation that Veronica gave us today and allows you to take that next step, which is to submit a request form if you would like to learn more information about becoming WBE certified. So it's just a simple form you fill out, and then we'll connect you with Veronica and her team and let her take it from there. All right, looks like we have another question that's popped in. Can an employee-owned firm qualify if 51% or more of the shares are owned by women?
Yes. So ESOPs do qualify as long as the 51 or more percent is owned by the females.
Great question. And a good answer, like that. All right. It looks like as though we do not have any more questions coming in. Like I said, we can be a resource for you and connect. Oh, no, I lied. Are there other certifications in addition to the Women Business Enterprise certification?
Yes. So you have the MBE, which is your Minority Business Enterprise certification, which is provided by MMSDC. You have your SBE certification, which is Small Business Enterprise, which is provided by SBAM. You have your Veteran-Owned Enterprise certification, which is provided by the National Veteran Council. You have your LGBTQ certification, which is provided by the NGLCC Council. And you have your Disabled-Owned certification, which that's provided through the state as well. And then most of these certifications you can find out about through MDOT If they're national certifications, then you can reach out to that provider for that certification. We at the council only, at the Great Lakes Council, we provide the WBENC, which is the Women's Business Enterprise certification, and the Women's Owned Small Business, the SBA WOSB certification.
And yes, I think here at SBAM too, there's a discount for our members to receive this certification through Great Lakes Women's Business Council. And then Michelle did mention that we're working to add on to our certification package so that you'll be able to achieve your small business certification, women, and then eventually, was it veteran and minority,
Yes.
Michelle?
So I
Okay.
was just gonna say, actually hot up the presses today, the veterans one is moving in the right direction, and we are partnering with actually the recommendation from Great Lakes on the minority owned business, and then disability will be next in line. So we would like to be one-stop shopping for business owners as far as getting the resources and context in those specific spaces, and then continue to bring procurement opportunities to our business owners. So I would imagine you're going to see more and more of this from us over the 2024 year. Be on the lookout for more education and webinars.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, there was another question that came in about the fee structure. I did answer that one directly. It's a little bit long to kind of verbalize here, but that is available on the website. And again, members do save $100. So Veronica, Heather, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks to all who made time to hop on this webinar with us. I will send the recording out to everyone who registered later this afternoon, and then it'll be available on the website as a reference point too. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.